Hi everyone! Today's video is about symmetry. So by the end of this video we should all know what makes a shape symmetrical, what a line of symmetry is, and how we find a line of symmetry. So first of all, what is a symmetrical shape? Well, you can see here symmetrical shapes can be folded so that each half fits exactly on the other. So both halves are like mirror images of each other. You could pick up your shape, fold it over, and both halves would line up exactly. You wouldn't have any little bits sticking out or anything like that. So I want you to pause the video now and have a think about, are there any shapes that you know are symmetrical? So you can see here, this is our list of just a few symmetrical shapes. There's loads and loads of symmetrical shapes, but these are just a few of them. So you could have your square, your triangle, a circle, a rectangle, an oval, a hexagon, and an octagon. So if you couldn't think of any, this is just a little list, but there are loads and loads of shapes that are symmetrical. Now for our line of symmetry. Well, you can see here that a line of symmetry is the fold line. So if you were to look at our lovely little butterfly here, if we picked up our butterfly and folded it along this line here, both halves would line up exactly with each other. But we couldn't do our line of symmetry across because that wouldn't be a line of symmetry. The top half would be bigger than the bottom half, so it wouldn't be symmetrical. So in order for something to be symmetrical, both sides have to line up exactly. You can see here on our heart that we have a vertical line of symmetry. So if I was to pick up my heart and fold it along this line here, it would be exactly symmetrical. So our line of symmetry is the line that you could fold your shape along and both halves will be the exact same. Same for this shape here, it looks a bit like a house or an arrow maybe. It is a shape that has a vertical line of symmetry. So we couldn't fold it across because that wouldn't be a line of symmetry. And there are a few shapes that have more than one line of symmetry. So you can see here we have our oval that we could fold horizontally and both sides would be the exact same. Or we could fold it vertically and both sides would be the exact same. The same for our rhombus or our diamond shape. Both sides would be the exact same if I folded it along this line or along this line. And the same for our rectangle. So these three shapes have two lines of symmetry. So I want you to pause the video now and have a think, are there any other shapes other than the ones you can see on the screen that have more than one line of symmetry? Have a think about it for a second. Now, so you can see here we have a few shapes that have at least 3 lines of symmetry, some of them have more. So this is our equilateral triangle. So we remember that our equilateral triangle has the lengths of all 3 sides are the exact same. And I could fold my equilateral triangle in 3 different places and both sides would be the same. So if I fold along here, it would be the same, along here would be the same, and along here. Now for my square, I can see that I could fold my square vertically, I could fold it horizontally, and I could fold it along both diagonals. And each of these lines is a line of symmetry. So some shapes have loads of lines of symmetry. And you can see in our lovely flower shape here, it has so many. I couldn't even count how many lines of symmetry we have here. Along each little piece is a bit symmetrical here. So, and in our circle, a circle has an infinite number of lines of symmetry. So we could fold our circle along any line across our circle and both sides would be the exact same. Now, if we were given our line of symmetry and a half of a shape, and we were asked to draw the other half of the shape, do you know what we'd do? We would have to, if it's easier if it's on a square grid, but you would look at, you can see here, this is my line of symmetry, so this side has to be the exact same, but kind of the opposite, if that makes sense. So this side, you can see here, this line goes up and across 2 diagonal squares. So you can see it's going this way diagonally. If I was drawing it down here, it would have to go this way diagonally. Up here, it goes across for 2 squares. I'm going to do the same here. It's across for 2 squares, but it's in a different direction. And here it goes down for 2 squares. And if I'm here, I'll have to go up 2 squares to make it symmetrical. So I'm using my line of symmetry to draw the mirror image of each of the shapes. Alright, so for this one here, a little bit more complicated. This one, on this side of our line of symmetry, our line goes right for 1 square, and here it goes left. We'd have to draw left for 1 square. We'd have to go up and left and down. So you can use your line of symmetry to draw the other half of a symmetrical shape. It's a lot easier if you have your grid, but it's really simple. I know you're all well able to do it. Okay, great job everyone!